Hey everyone, thank you for listening to another episode of Spoiler Force Podcast. You can find more episodes on any major podcasting platform such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, and even on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and make sure to follow and like Spoiler Force Podcast on Facebook.
What's up, everybody? This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Men. Listen, I have a podcast studio. I do multiple podcasts. I listen to Kevin Smith's podcast. Those podcasts don't matter. The only podcast that matters, Spoiler Force Podcast. They record in Michigan, my friends. And if that's not an indication of how awesome this podcast is, my man Ricky Veng, the host, he's Asian. So that's all you need to know. I love the Spoiler Force Podcast. Listen to it, subscribe to it, like it, download every episode, and then do all that all over again because I love Ricky and I love the Spoiler Force Podcast. This is Ming Chen. I love you, Ricky. I love Spoiler Force Podcast. Listen to it, everybody.
Episode 77 of Spoiler Force Podcast. My name's Ricky. Thank you for tuning in. This episode is another live one for this month. I'm pretty excited to share with you guys the guest for this week. So let me just introduce him in. You may have seen his face on different interviews with different podcasters. He's worked with the likes of the Chilla, Kuelio Universe, Wange and FAX News. So let me introduce Kuelio.
Oh shit! Hey, cool.
Thanks for doing this.
How you doing, Rick? Thanks for having me. Thank you. I think it was your birthday earlier this week too. So happy birthday, belated.
Thank you.
What's going on? Shout out to FAX News, Wang and T. Like, subscribe, hit that bell for knock you out like Jake Paul. Shout out to Chin and Brucey F Baby, Mang and Teo, the gang. What's up?
Shout out to those guys, man. You know, I think it's I don't know if it's, I don't want to say funny, but it's pretty cool that I was able to work with Chinchilla earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like this though. I kind of really wish I implemented this kind of thing before working with like a lot of the other Hmong artists. But yeah, working with Chin and then working with you now. So hopefully try to get Bruce and Teo on too.
This is exciting. So I've been anticipating this. So yeah.
Yeah, man. You know, I've been watching your guys' podcast since pretty much you guys first started, back in like 2016-ish, around there. Because I was with Pop Luck Podcast before, and I saw you guys. I forgot. I think that what that first episode you guys did was you guys talked about like that Jake. Speaking of Jake's, like Jake Banang, right?
Jake, Dylan.
Yeah, you guys were talking about him. Excuse me, and he was talking about him, and he was doing the Manga rap with T.O. now.
Yeah.
So that was the first episode I saw. But yeah, man, it's so cool to be able to work with you guys and do collaborations like this. You recently just got back to working again, so congrats on that too.
Well, appreciate it.
How have you been feeling, man? I know with this quarantine stuff, you've been like really busy doing other stuff too.
Man, I've been since the quarantine started, man. Like it's just like, well, I hate to talk about the quarantine all the fucking time, you know. Like it's all I talk to with people. But yeah, it's been cooped up, you know. Like I moved out the east side of St. Paul. I'm like near the burbs of Minneapolis now, you know. So it's like it's lonely out here. I really don't know anybody, you know. And I thought it'd be more exciting with the whole just being out here, but you know, with the whole lockdown of everything, it's stuck. It sucks being trapped and stuck. You know, I feel like I'm living on the edge of the world because like being in the burbs, I just missed like the whole riots and like the protests and everything. It just flew by us. It's lonely, man. But
yeah.
hold
on, let me see here.
Cabin fever.
Alex, is my microphone on now? I think it should be on. Let me know if you guys are watching. Let me know if you guys can hear me. That way there's no confusion. That way I can keep speaking without thinking that you guys can hear me when you guys can't. But yeah, man, it's been a crazy year. I'm glad that we were able to kind of just get through this year and just with all the political and crazy social events that's happened, man. I it makes it feel like this year is a lot longer than it should be.
Hey, I'm looking forward to the new South Park season that comes out. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be
Did you
legendary.
watch that the special?
Yeah.
Dude,
Was it the Pangora or whatever?
oh man, freaking
The
token,
week
man. That
special.
scene killed me. I was like Trey and Man Parker really did that shit, man. That I was cracking up so hard.
Bro, I fucking love South Park, man. There's a South Park episode for everything and a mood, a feeling, and how society is. It's fucking great, man.
Yeah, I kind of I'm glad that they did it though, because if they didn't do it, I think this year would have just felt weird. I mean, South Park itself, like people were questioning if they were even gonna, push boundaries because of what's happened this year, and they did it just right. It wasn't like too crazy, but they still pushed on the social issues on from like every different perspective. And
Yeah, maybe it's just how society is nowadays. You really can't like fucking what is it? Press the button as hard as you used to. you know. And South Park used to do that before people complained about people pressing the button. But I think it started with the whole PC seasons like 2-3 years ago. But like with PC principle and all that stuff. But that brought a whole different dimension to it, and it's just not like mindless anymore. The continuation stories. If you actually watch South Park and all that shit, but
yeah, I think that's what makes it so great. But did you like when they were doing that? Excuse me, my God. Did you like when they were doing the I guess the continuity episodes instead of like the every week?
random episodes.
Yeah,
It took me a while to do it, and then I realized like I saw why it changed. Like okay, now it's adding more dimension to the characters instead of just random stories of like the kids. Like Randy became super awesome. He became my favorite character.
and Lord, such a good episode.
Yeah, you relate more to Randy as you grow as you watch it, than the kids.
Yeah, how like immature he gets sometimes. And, like, him growing weed and all that stuff. And, they made this character so funny, man. Like, he's just that typical dad. But yeah, I think with how everything is, I'm glad that South Park was able to pull us at least a special episode. Um, I don't I don't know how they're gonna do for next year, but if they do, man, I'm so excited because there's so much material they could use.
Yeah, this year just full of
One
material,
episode
dude.
is just enough, to have something. But I feel like they're gonna have so much content to make.
But
But
that's,
yeah,
that's the whole year in general, like it's entertainment itself. Like I said, it, I think one of our old episodes, like this whole year entertainment it was pretty bad. There hasn't been any like uh, new music and like new moods of just film and all that stuff. Matter of fact, I just saw Tenet this week. I thought it was super awesome. That was like the only original film I saw this year that where I thought I was like, yo, this is awesome because it made me think, like it forced my brain to like run, and it's you don't see that you didn't see that a lot this year.
yeah, that movie I had to do another viewing of it. I only watched it once, and surprisingly, that's the only movie I watched in theaters this year. But I think it's gonna be on Blu-ray in the next 2 weeks or so.
Mhm.
Christopher Nolan's projects, man, they're such like mind fucks.
Yeah,
Concept of time and reverse time and alternating those parallels and going back and forth. There was a lot to take in, and then yeah, I had to like because I couldn't find time to rewatch the movie. I had to go back and just watch like YouTube breakdowns of the ending.
yeah, same here. I had to watch it at the end just to explain. Am I dumb? Oh no, I'm not stupid. I was right.
Yeah, I didn't get it the first time. I was just like, yeah, I can't. I don't have time to watch it again. But I'm
He's
probably
got
gonna,
shot with horse tranquilizer or something.
yeah, let's take a look at some of these comments here. Let's see. More Quan Davies says, I want to talk about why Pokemon cards are so overpriced. We'll get to that soon. But yeah,
Yeah.
Pokemon cards are. I've been seeing a lot of that for the past couple of weeks.
That's just nuts, man.
And then Tom King says Vikings.
Vikings suck. Playoffs.
I've not been keeping up with football. I mean, like, I'm from Detroit, so the Lions is.
There's not much to keep up with.
We just kind of we're gambling here. We're just like we're just hoping they get a win. But yeah, man, I wanted to kind of get back to the beginnings of how you started with FAX News and ENC. I know that when I had Chin on, if you guys look at the description of this episode on Facebook, the link to Chin's episode should be there. If you guys haven't checked that out yet, but when I was speaking of Chin, he was doing the battle rap stuff, and you guys weren't really podcasting just yet. You were still doing the music scene with him, right?
I didn't do music with him. At that time, I was doing I was podcasting at the time. I was doing episodes under SoundCloud. The show it was called The Ice Codes and Friends. It was based off of the concept of Prince and the Revolution, and the title of it I got from the Beatles song, I Get By With a Little Help of My Friends. So basically, it was just me. I just moved downtown at that time, and I was living with like a whole bunch of random people, and they're always coming in and out. And I figured, hey, let's do a podcast where we just talk about random stupid shit. And there's like one person I knew who was a friend, and we just did an episode. We got to like about 9 episodes, and it wasn't really about anything. We were just talking about random ongoings of life and shit. So that's how it started, and then. Chin, again, like you said, he was doing the battle rap music shit at the time, and I know him since high school. But we never really hung out like that. But I always linked with his stuff when he was doing music. And one day he's hit me up. He came by. We shot an episode. And I was like, hey, let's join forces or something. Let's do this. Let's do your show, but let's do it with hip hop and just try to get into a bigger platform. And he put me on to Wange, and he gave life to what is FAX News with me.
See, I never knew that. I always just thought that you guys were all just like together already as a group. So that's pretty cool to know that. I had no idea that you were you did your own thing. That's kind of like how it was for me too. When I was with Pop Luck, I was with that team, and then I just branched off and did things on my own. Now, you were doing DJ like stuff like that, right? For music or producing? What were you doing exactly when you were doing music?
Dude, I didn't do anything for music, man.
Really?
No, when I first, actually, to be honest with you, I wanted to do music since high school and stuff, but I was pretty shit. I don't have a flow. I can write, but I have a hard time memorizing things. So like just words, and I usually just freestyle shit and pull stuff out my ass. That's why. What is it? Yeah, like I didn't do music at all, man. Like I was terrible at it. And like going back to you in DC on your little joint episode where y'all saying like sometimes music isn't for you and you find different passions or something that you're good at doing or like doing, And I think podcasting is that. And what really got me into it was just the whole Joe Rogan, because I've been watching him since 2012. And what's his name? Chris Jericho's podcast, because it was awesome about him talking about his road stories as a wrestler, and I thought that was really dope. But that's what really got me into it. I never did music. Hell, I started DJing probably a year or 2 ago at that.
Okay. Oh, that's probably why then I probably got that confused then. So that's pretty cool then. I guess I never put that together then. Now for podcasting, man, is this something that you see yourself doing in the long run now with how hot it is? Do you like how it is right now with like this, I guess this video chat kind of thing, or do you still prefer in person?
I like the video chat. I like being live because then it forces me to be on my toes and be on my game at all times. I always hated doing the old videos we used to do because like just the editing side of it. Just like there's a lot on the cutting board and there's a bunch of wild shit. So yeah, a lot of that stuff got cut out, but being live, it forces me to be on my toes. And I like the interaction things too, especially with these what's going on here, just with people who are watching, how they can comment, they can call and respond to them. I think that's dope. It's kind of like Reddit AMAs, That's what I like the most about it. But I like where this is going. I do want to stray away from like the music scene of things. I always hated like judging people's music, not because like I like it or I don't like it. It's just you know, I hate critiquing people now just after doing it so much because at this point I just really don't care anymore. I'm not in love with it as much as I used to.
Okay, that's understandable. Yeah, I can't critique music, so like the worst thing I'll say is like you suck. So yeah, I can't. I was never good at that. Like I tried doing music too. I wanted to do like those YouTube song covers, and I wanted to try to do something like that. I just never had the. I guess I never made time for it. And then podcasting for myself though has been pretty life changing. It's just the simplicity of it, just being able to just talking to people, and then quick editing and just uploading the conversation, right there, and people are just tuning in to watch it, and now with this StreamYard or Zoom meeting, live stuff, people are like watching you, so you gotta, like I said, you gotta be on your toes and kind of just improvise a lot of the things that you say. But with Fax News that you've been with for how long has it been, like 4 years?
3 years.
3 years?
3 years, yeah.
Yeah. So do you plan on I guess, is it just you now? Because I mostly see you do the work. I don't know if I see like Teo or Bruce do anything with you.
Well, no offense, Shin. He's just doing his music thing now, which I understand. He's chasing his music shit, and I've always done the podcast and shit. So I'm gonna take the reins to it. Teo's MIA, so there's always a there's always a milk carton out looking for him. Bruce is in the mountains, so God knows when he'll come back and get a better phone service. But really, it's just me, and I'm just happy when I can get all 3 or 4 of them on. So that'd be dope as hell.
Do you plan on collaborating with anyone else? Like, do you have anyone in mind?
That's kind of the goal right now. I want to link up with more podcasters and like just share ideas. I want to go back to the old format of what I had intended with the Ice Codes and Friends. Like I don't want to stick to just one subject. I want to just like what's happening around with us as people. Like what are you doing that's dope lately, and what have I been doing? What I learned this week that's awesome that I never knew before. Like I want to talk about stuff like that, our everyday lives, because I feel like we go through every day like life being mundane and boring, like going to your 9 to 5, come back home and bullshit. But like there's some interesting things that goes on between that 9 to 5, even if it's little or not.
Yeah, I mean, like podcasting is that's what makes it so good, man. Because you could just talk about anything, and
yeah, exactly.
the subject could just be about like for example, Pokemon cards, and so it can be just about that. Yeah, but was there anyone that you had in mind that you wanted to work with? Like, does it matter if they were like Hmong or different ethnicity or whatnot?
At the moment right now, no. I just want to wrap up the Hmong music stuff though, because I've been trying to get Sons of No Town. I want to do them before I move away from just the Hmong music stuff, man. I'm kind of happy I got David. Well, we got David because one day he just walked into the basement. I was like, oh, that's dope as hell. David's here. Fuck it, let's do this. Yeah, fucking that's and Kalia just these her and Chin, that just happened. So fuck, I'll take those. But I would love to do a joint with SON. That'd be dope as fuck.
Yeah, I like the guests that you were able to gather, from David to Kid Swami to Kalia. I think during that time too, it was like before all this shit happened. So having them in person in your studio, I think that was really cool to see that you guys were able to do interviews with them right then and there. Besides Sons, was there anyone else that you wanted to work with? Whether they're not, I mean, it doesn't matter if they're Hmong or not, but
yeah.
That you want to collaborate with? Any other podcasters that you want to collaborate with?
At the moment, not really. I want to see who's all out there more. To be honest with you, I don't listen to anyone else's podcast. That's probably why I don't like to compare myself or how I'm working with other people's podcasts. I don't want to try to follow their methods and all that. But yeah, I don't want to compete with them. That's all. So I haven't really followed anybody's podcast to see even work with them. But maybe now I'll listen to more people, and if I find them interesting, I would love to connect with them.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that's pretty difficult for me too, because when I do listen to other folks' podcasts, I kind of pick up some of their habits from consistently listening to them. So I kind of do that from time to time, and I'm slowly doing that too. excuse me, just like working with other podcasters and different people like with different contents and stuff. That's kind of like the goal I want to do for next year is not just Hmong podcasters, but just more podcasters in general, just collaborations. Because I think with podcasting right now, if you follow those groups, man, everyone's doing that sub for sub shit, like for like shit. You know, it's not good because they don't really take the time to listen to your content, and then some people will like subscribe to you, then unsubscribe to you. And all
Yeah,
that.
no, it's just like it's like hey, like this page. That's it. They don't really care about your content, what you're following. You know, like I forgot who I was talking to. At least like no matter what you do or how many fans you got, the only real fans you have who will pay attention to your shit is like half of it, or maybe even a third. You know, so. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. The one thing I hated too was when DC was popping and people were like, "Hey, how come you got like DC?" Because I don't want to be like DC. You know, what he's doing is great because he's like, I guess like the second, like the only person doing Hmong hip hop music besides us, and what he's doing is dope. But I always hated the comparisons. How come you're doing stuff like him? Because I don't want to review music like that. You know.
Yeah, I kind of saw that too. A lot of the comments. I think you know what it was. I think it was that coincidence when you guys would do the music review, and then DC did his too.
Yeah.
That same weekend. So it was kind of like back and back of almost the same thing. And,
yeah, I thought that was dope because it just happened at the same time. Like, oh shit! I mean, I'm not saying we bit him or he bit us or anything. I just thought it was like coincidental. Like, oh shit! You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was just out of the blue, just how you guys were able to just do that. You know, I think it's cool too, though. I mean, you know, we shouldn't even be competing with one another when it comes to just content creating. So I thought it was cool that you guys were able to kind of just, you know, not let that get to you guys as content creators because of what people said, and kind of just work around it, I guess.
I just want to stray away from it. Like, whatever, you know, let whoever do whatever. You know, I really don't care. I just don't want to like, again, like you said, be like those guys who just wants people chase them or whatnot. Or
Now,
likes.
Yeah, you know, chasing likes and just getting clout. That's something that's like everyone's doing right now. With especially this year, you know, with quarantine and everyone's just trying to be a content creator. I've noticed that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people noticed that. You know, just a big spike in content creators and artists.
No, I get it because like at this point, no one really has content, so you have to push out content by like applying yourself to other content or subjects. But the problem is, I feel like it's the people themselves. Maybe it's not their field or strength of them doing this, but it's the best time to utilize your strength into like reaching out to your fan base. And I think podcasting is the best way to do it.
Oh yeah, and I think you know it comes down to just relatability, man. A lot of folks don't really see that part of podcasting. You know, if you don't have like something relatable that the audience or people can listen to, I think it makes it a little bit harder. That's like for my podcast, I try to be as diverse as possible with different people with different backgrounds, and then going back and working with like Hmong folks and stuff like that. But yeah, man, you know, with everything that's going on, man, I've seen that you've been pretty busy, you know, doing the whole Pokemon cards and sports fantasy and all that stuff. I mean, is that what kind of just kept you busy this year? Just that stuff?
Yeah, I need live sports to keep me sane, man. I'm a big sports head. Matter of fact, I formatted Fax News after ESPN's First Take and Fox's Undisputed with Skip Bayless and those guys. They're big inspirations to me because, like, I never played sports when I was a kid or anything like that. I wasn't even into sports. I just got into sports probably like 3-4 years ago. And what I like most about it was these guys. They would just narrate and create a narrative and story for these sports plot lines. Because why is there a plot line to sports? There isn't. You know, like these guys just going out there playing ball, jogging, running back and forth, throwing a football, shooting a basketball. You know, like why is there a storyline? Oh, so and so is determined to avenge his loss last year because he lost to his brother who was in the same team as him when they were kids, but now one brother has a title, one does, you know, it's some overly complicated, stupid storyline and they just mesh it together. And that's kind of what I at first with Fax News I wanted to do that with like Hmong hip hop and shit. Like, okay, how do we create a story for these guys, or not create a story, but how do you like create something for these guys and embody their persona for people to understand them easier and explain how they are without them explaining themselves. Because I always felt Hmong artists is they don't really explain themselves, they put themselves out there as a person only through their music. And most of the times I feel Hmong music doesn't have relatable personal content besides just I'm in the hood, I'm coming up, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that, just basic subjects. You don't know them as a person enough. So I wanted to do that with Fax News, and I was really inspired by that, by the sports talks and all that. But I needed sports to keep me alive in this quarantine, man. And Pokemon itself, I've always loved Pokemon, man. So Pokemon's fucking dope, man.
So how much, if you don't mind me asking, how much have you, I guess, profited from flipping the cards? I mean,
I don't flip Pokemon cards.
No, oh no, okay.
No, Pokemon cards. I don't even collect them. I gave them all to my little brother because I know he would take care of them better than I would. Yu-Gi-Oh is the market I'm into because I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh competitively back in college and shit. So I'll be honest with you, I don't think I made a profit at all.
No. Yeah, because I think the last thing I saw you do was sell that. Was it the black eyes or
the red eyes, black dragon? Yeah, the red eyes. That basically, I made my money back with all that, man. Like I was pretty happy about that, but like, making a living off selling cards, you can't do that, man.
Have you ever thought about getting them graded?
Yeah, I actually sent some out to get graded back in July. I haven't got them back yet.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, the market's that bad. It's so overloaded. It's so oversaturated. I knew I couldn't sell cards. Well, not sell cards, but I knew I couldn't make a living off cards when that Charizard I posted up. No one wanted to buy it. It's easier to pull a card, but it's so damn hard just to find a proper buyer.
Yeah. I mean, like comic books is almost similar to that too. I
mean,
you gotta be able to find the hot issue and flip it. Flip it when you can. I tried doing that. It was too much like time and effort for me to do. And by the time I bought the book, and I'm just like, man, I already bought it. I'm just going to keep it. I'm more of a collector than I am.
Yeah, it's just collectibles in general. That's how they work. But I'm still flipping cards. I mean, it's dope waking up in the morning and knowing that there's like 150 bucks there sitting for you. It's awesome to know that when you're going for a jog, you come back home and look at your phone, there's like $30 there. Like it's just like passive money, which is awesome. It's extra source of income if anything, but it's not something I would wholeheartedly put my life savings into. But I'm still gonna do it.
Were you selling sports cards at all too?
Sports. Bruce and Shin got into this whole sports card thing. I'm not into sports cards like that. I'm into Yu-Gi-Oh because I just know the game in and out when playing it and shit. I haven't played in years, but I know the value of some of the cards.
Yeah, man. I think the last time I played Yu-Gi-Oh, I was still in grade school. I think that's the last time I played it because my cousin, he freaking had Exodia, and I was winning. And I think he had like less than 1,000 life points left. And right before I beat him, he drew the freaking last card and won. I was like, what the hell? I quit. I'm not playing this game no more, man. But I honestly I was never good though at Yu-Gi-Oh. I was too like straightforward in my combos. Everything was just heavy hitters, bam, 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 just trying to take out people's life points quick. But it's a big cost at that too because there's really no strategy to it.
Yeah. I feel back then there wasn't no strategy. What really changed my mind on it, why I stopped playing, was when I went to my first big major tournament. Because I would just play it locally. But when I went to my first major tournament, I realized, me personally, this is the weird thing about doing podcasts and interviewing people. I don't really like people, dude. Like competing was like playing cards competitively against some people, like strangers. some people were cool, you know, and some people were just straight assholes, and you would trade with people, and some people would just try to like. Of course, everyone does this. They try to get the best deal, try to lowball the hell out of you, but then you can just tell that like they just give off this energy, or they're just complete assholes to you. And I'm just like, dude, man, like you're giving me the wrong vibes, like. And then and then you would play competitively, and you'll get far in the tournament, and then you play a kid who's on a losing record, and you're like, oh man, dude, I don't want to destroy this kid. Fuck it. And then like it's weird, man. Like just it's a kid's with the memes and stuff. You know, it's a kid's game with adults who's playing it for straight cash, and that's kind of like why I stopped playing it. Like it's just not the competitive nature, but just I just don't like people like that. You know, I don't like being part of groups and like clubs. I don't like being aggressive to kids and taking their shit. It's just wrong, you know?
Bully kids with their blue eyes and shit.
Literally like Seto Kaiba trying to punk these kids.
Yeah, I've been to like I've never competed, but I've been to like a few tournaments and just seeing how like invested people get into these games, man. Like just I didn't think card games was like that at all. You know, one of my good friends, he went and I think they placed, but you know, just seeing them like versus these kids and you know these little like you know preteens, man, just playing this game and getting all enraged and shit. You know, like you really sent them to the shadow realm and shit.
Yeah,
no, they get so heated.
Man. You play for 5-6 hours. It's stressful. It's really stressful. Yeah. You don't realize until after like the second hour, you're like, holy crap, we're not done yet. You know?
Yeah. And the bracket system and all that stuff, and then like everyone's just trying to win. Yeah, I never realized it was like that, man. And then I was just like, yeah, good thing I never got it invested into it. If you like podcasts like me and want to start your own, use Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is a very effective and easy way to begin your podcasting journey. With easy-to-use tools, Buzzsprout can help you get your podcast to major podcasting platforms like Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. You can view stats, create audio clips, and even have your own podcasting website. Buzzsprout has helped hundreds of thousands of people to begin their own podcasts like myself, and you can find ideas, tips, tricks, video tutorials to better your own podcast. Follow the link in the description to start your own podcast today, and once you sign up, you'll get a $20 Amazon gift card. This lets Buzzsprout know that I sent you, and this also helps support Spoiler Force Podcast. Happy podcasting. Do you struggle with eating junk food and late night snacking? Well, I've been using FNX Sports Rebalance Super Greens, and I've been able to control my eating habits, get my daily vitamins, fiber, and loose fat around my stomach area. The Rebalance Super Greens comes in multiple flavors and is easy to use by just mixing the supplement and water. You can drink this anytime during the day and feel energized without any groggy after effects. Use the code SPOILERFORCE, all one word, SPOILERFORCE, and get 15% off your very first order. What are you currently doing now, man? I know you went back to work. Is that pretty much it so far? Just work, coming home?
Right now, man, like let's see. Yeah, I'm working with my new company, Priority One Technology. It's my family's business. You know, I'm managing the shop there. You see me promoting on the page and stuff. Come check us out. We're off of 1171 Jackson Street. Shameless plug, St. Paul, Minnesota, 55117. You know where we're at. If you have computer consulting issues, give me a call. But yeah, to plug that real quick in there. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I've always been doing IT. I'm really averse at technology. But again, this is one of my weird things. I do not like technology. I don't know, man. It's like these things that like I'm good at or no, I just don't like it. Maybe because like I just want to play in the garden, you know. I don't want to like take care of these fruits and vegetables. Maybe it's just that, and then like
I think it's like also the idea that you know that it's work.
Yeah,
so it's different from like passion projects when you do podcasting or even help. Let's say you're good with technology, even like when it comes to helping just people randomly. Yeah, but I think it comes from the idea of just work, because that's how I am too. The things that I hate, I kind of dread like the things that I like doing, I kind of dread doing it because I feel like it's just a hassle for me to do it. Like besides this podcast and stuff, like sometimes my folks would be like, Ricky, come help us with our computer issues, and I just, oh man, I don't know how to do it, but I know how to do it. It just becomes a hassle. But yeah, man, I get that, man. It's I don't know, it's a really weird thing, but at least you're working in something that you're good at, not just some 9-to-5 job that you hate.
No, I enjoy the freedom of it. That's what, and it's family too. That's the best thing about it. It's liberating. I don't feel like I'm forced to a 9-to-5. I don't feel like people I don't like are nagging me. For things I'm servicing. I don't feel like I'm servicing people who are just pricks to me, who disrespect me. I think everybody wants that in life, like to be respected. And I feel like just, me personally, just growing up, I always felt like people were just like, I just felt like people doubted me and like I was wronged. And maybe I could say I have a chip on my shoulder for that, but like I just want the liberation and freedom to prove myself. So it's being where I'm at now, I'm really at peace about it, and I enjoy it. But again, I don't like technology. I'm just, I've never really got into tech like that. I just know how to do this shit, and it just ended up becoming work.
Do you plan to, I guess, with this topic in mind too? Like, do you plan on, I guess, improving the home studio then for your podcast?
Yeah, man. Like, well, we gotta move this bike, so. Let's see, the studio itself. Hopefully, Bruce gets back from the mountains. We could link up again and rebuild everything. Most of our equipment's at his place there, so we had it going on for like 2-3 episodes. But yeah, hopefully we get everything back in order. More or not, I think the COVID go back to the COVID. It was a big brick wall for everybody, but you have to utilize what you have to keep the wheels moving. But the studio in due time will open up again, and if P. Diddy gets pissed off, he'll close the studio down.
Dial on. I was just watching that a couple of days ago too. So freaking funny. Did you see that? How Dave Chappelle told people that he didn't want them watching Chappelle show anymore?
Yeah, dude. I totally fucking understand. Like this whole last 3-4 months, I've been on this craze about music artist rights. Taylor Swift and Kanye were big proprietors of it the last few months. Like they wanted do you know what I'm talking about here?
Like the rights to their music?
Yeah, the rights to the music ownership. So yeah. I think like Dave, he doesn't make any money from that stuff. Like all those skits he made them, but probably at the time I assume like that's when he finally went over the hill, became the megastar that he is now. Working under Comedy Central, I don't think he's making any money off of that, all those skits and shows, and they're just selling the stuff on Netflix. But I'm not sure how all that contract stuff works, but I can see why he wants it removed. Again, liberation. He went to fucking Africa, man. Like, fuck these guys.
I completely understand where he's coming from, especially when it comes to just owning content. It sucks because imagine like you work so hard for something that's yours and then you get no credibility to it. It's someone else's. And then I forgot what the title was, but it was on his Instagram, the 18-minute video of his like stand-up, how he's talking about contracts and all that stuff. And just like he's so good at breaking down his story to where
dude. Did you see him on Joe?
On the podcast? Yeah, I seen that.
It was like I didn't like the first, his Ashley Larry, I forget his name. But I kind of skipped it because I really don't because I hate just tell me he got shot. Come on. I think you're lying.
His dog the whole time. Yeah, Dave showed up in like the last hour and a half.
Yeah,
not even.
But the way Dave just articulates himself and explains things, it's so fucking dope because he just analyzes it, brings it to his view, explains it to you, and then expresses a story from beginning, middle, end, and climax about what the situation is. Like, dude,
Yeah, he's good, man. Like, I would not argue with anyone saying Dave's the GOAT, man. Just the way how he's he's able to break down, again, his storytelling and just being able to, I guess, blend his punchline in, where you don't expect it. Like, and then I kick you in the pussy, like he says some shit like that. Just the way how he does it, it's so craftful, man. Like I absolutely enjoy his work. And, to hear him say like how he felt bullied, and then, they took his work, and then Comedy Central was like making money from his skits, putting it on Netflix, on the internet. I forget about the YouTube money that they draw in from all those skits. And then he doesn't even get a single dime from it. And I think that's just wild that he worked for so long and still has not gotten any pay for it.
But if anything, it was a jump. It was like a trampoline, a jumping pad to where he is now. But again, all that hard work, that was you, Dave. That was you at the time. That's when we knew you.
Yeah, and it's literally his name, right?
Yeah,
it's
not him. He doesn't own none of that shit. And that goes to what I was saying earlier. Like, we really need to care about ourselves and what we're about. Like, be free. Don't be a slave mentally to life, or just work to people who don't give a damn about you. Because you put your heart and soul into building bricks to a building, but the moment that you get let go, or that building collapses when you're not there, it's not even about you anymore.
Yeah. I think that's what makes a lot of people want to be like just independent artists and stuff. I mean, like the pros and cons to it for sure. I mean, there are. I mean, especially when you're solo, it's definitely more difficult to get an audience and to book venues or stuff like that. But at least you own everything that you're doing. All the work is yours, all the credit is yours, versus like, a management company or a corporation just owning you and you're just their product. And I think that's probably the worst thing to be, is someone's product, because they don't give a shit about you.
Yeah, I think people are just looking for handouts mainly. That's why they take these deals and shit. Like they, for example, I hate to use him because that's the homie, but Jason Tao, he can't perform any of his music from a few years ago, because all that music he did was in the contract with that label that he was with. Now he's a independent artist. Like, that fucking sucks. Your heart and soul, because you signed a contract that you didn't know at the time, and the value of what you were worth and what you did. You can't do anything. You can't perform any of that stuff. You lost the masters and rights to it. Like, that's bullshit. It fucking sucks. Pardon my language.
What are your thoughts on I guess, now that you bring that up, what are your thoughts on the, I guess, Hmong producers doing that too? Doing selling masters and like rights to their beats and stuff. Because I see like a lot of artists do like, the free beats or stuff like that. They don't really purchase beats like that. So what are your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, there's something about that online, right? Recently, about somebody was like tripping about it and stuff. Like, hey, report these guys. How you gonna report these guys? Get a lawyer. Get a lawyer, dude. But I don't think I've always hated covers. Like, I always hated like YouTube covers. I always hated people or rappers rapping over someone else's beats, because like you're not really gaining traction rapping or doing covers. You're putting more traction to that song, the original song more. And I don't think artists should do that at all, or just new and up and coming people. But yeah, like go for that person's example. I don't even know their name, but do they own the song? Like, do they own the masters? Like, you can't just cancel people out like that. If you have a problem with it, just sue them behind the scenes. You don't have to post it up. If anything, I don't even think you own the masters.
That's the thing too, man. Because like people will say like you stole my music or this and that, and then their music they use like a free beat or something like.
Yeah,
that's not even yours. You think artists should copyright more of their stuff now that there's like opportunities to get your ideas and stuff like that stolen more?
Yeah, always, man, always. You don't know if you're gonna be big or not, dude. You really don't know if you're gonna explode or not. Like producers, for example, going back to your saying, producers, you have the YouTube producers, right? And they just throw on their beats online. Drake like beat. Lupe Fiasco like beat, stuff like that, and they just sell it for like $100 for someone to have the rights to use it. And what if that song becomes big? They contractually, I don't know how none of this stuff works, but contractually maybe that one song that someone bought the rights to the beat for $400, they did it and it became a mega hit. They're not seeing any of that money. I feel producers should strongly work with artists and other musicians closely. That way they develop some sort of bond to go together. Example, Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff, like what's that guy? Panda, the guy who did Panda. I think he bought the beat on SoundCloud for like $400. Became a
right, and then
the
producer to get nothing from it.
Yeah, he got nothing. He got nothing, and then it's like an inception of screwery. I think the guy designer who did Panda, his rights are owned by Kanye, so he doesn't make as much money as he should through Kanye or some
holy shit.
Yeah, some stupid shit like that. It's an inception of just people getting screwed over or screwing themselves.
I did not know that. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's how the record labels work.
Yeah, that is a lot of I guess a lot of ownership. Then
yeah,
some people don't even have to work to get the money that's not even technically not theirs. I mean they own it, but they don't have to work for it. They just make the money because they own your stuff. And
yeah, like dude, like I think every artist should really own their music. Just pay for the records and the rights, man. Like you don't know how big that song is gonna be. Like your family, like maybe your grandkids are gonna eat from that.
Yeah, and actually, go ahead.
Have faith and believe in your own product or in who you are.
Yeah, I think that's something, especially Hmong artists for sure. Now that there's more producers and more creatives out there, should definitely look into as well, man. I just think that it's just kind of crazy that there's so many artists out there using and cycling through the same beats. It's kind of watered down. That's the best way I can put it. Like when it comes to that kind of music, because if you want to make a good song, at least just own the beat like that, but you don't have to share it.
Yeah. So that's the problem with the just music nowadays. Music is just a microwave function of just artists and rappers and singers and just any song in general going through the line like McDonald's or something. Our attention spans are to 30 seconds to a minute. And it's always shuffling. It's always going through. Why do you think Hmong artists don't sell records or anything? They play one or two songs on YouTube. For example, here's a bad example. Sons of No Town. They have two songs that are like 500,000 views and two songs that are like more than 1 million. Those 4 songs are the only songs getting played. Everything else is like side Bs that everyone ignores. So I get it, but like you should really where was it going again? I got lost in my tangent. But what I'm saying is that
own your music.
Own your music, dude. Own your fucking music.
Let's see here. I'm gonna take a look at some of these comments here. Alex says, Kuelio, how is it like growing up in Minnesota?
Cold.
And then Jonathan Garza says, ice cold.
Ice cold.
So yeah, man, this music stuff, man. It's a lot of people don't really take the time to kind of just learn this stuff, man.
The business side of it.
Yeah, because I don't even know a lot of this stuff. I know that when it comes down to it, people can just take your stuff, and sometimes you might not be able to do anything about it.
No, music's all fun and games until you need to make money with it,
Right. So, I mean, we can say this for music, but I think for podcasting, I don't know if it's as lenient, but we should definitely look into like owning that kind of stuff too, having rights and paperwork for our podcasts and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think like I just post stuff, so I think we own it, right? I don't just YouTube. I don't know if this work.
Because like that's something I was like contemplating this year, man. I was like, damn, I didn't think that I do this much for my podcast, releasing this many episodes, and then I was like, dude, what if like someone tries to come and take my podcast title or something, man. Like that's something I'm scared of. So I really got to look into that. So
I was just scared of the Fox News copyright infringement.
Fox News, yeah, you switched the vowel.
Like, can you do that? Like, originally the logo design was supposed to be the Fox News thing with the anarchy, but that's been played out. I'm like, yeah, I'm not touching that.
Yeah, I think I seen a content creator do something like that. Like he made a logo and then resembled something else, and then whoever owned the original artwork was like trying to sue them for it, but they had no idea that was the case. And it was just like, I think the fact is like they caught traction because they were selling so much of whatever their product was, and then the artist of the original content was like, yo, that looks like ours, they're stealing our ideas, and then they try to sue them, but it didn't go through. But still, I just like, imagine that though, man. Like you don't like if we don't know this stuff, man. Like companies like that can just come by and be like, yeah, you guys just try to copy our work and we're gonna sue you guys for it. So that, I don't think I'd be prepared for anything like that, man. Like
laws are sometimes laws are just so stupid. Like sometimes, like I guess like Instagram, you don't own the rights to your pictures. You know, like if I wanted to share your picture or something, I could sue you for. I don't know. Like it's so dumb, and it's like, did you make money off of it? No, okay, then you can use it. Like that's. I don't know, man. These laws are confused. I don't know these things. I'm not a lawyer, so. But
yeah, I tried reading like terms and conditions of stuff.
Yeah,
and but then like not even halfway, I gave up. I was like, whatever, man. If they own me, they own me. Fuck it, because like, like that episode of South Park, man. Like when they didn't read the terms and agreements, and Kyle became the human centipede. Like that shit might happen, man.
Yeah, the Apple human centipede and the what is it? Man-Bear Pig, the curse or something like that.
Yeah,
Man-Bear Pig. They didn't care about the contracts and stuff. And the contract just came bite them in the ass.
All right, man. So we're about almost an hour in, man. Yep. Do you have anything else you wanted to bring up and talk about, Kuelio?
Shit. Shoot me some wild stuff. I feel like we've just been going on a tangent about artist rights and my history of FAX News, but nothing really special there. I did do the closest thing I did in music, I guess, and to answer that question was I did slam poetry for a while, for like 6 months. I quit my job and just went on a tangent, like doing slam poetry all over Minneapolis. It was really stupid.
Did you do like how a lot of the people do just stand there and be like,
yeah,
I'm Kuelio and I'm doing this and this and that.
Like and I felt like what's that movie with the two cops?
Oh, 22 Jump Street?
Yeah, that was like that. Yeah. I feel like that sometimes. When I saw that scene, I'm like, yo, what the hell am I doing?
Oh man, that's pretty gutsy though. Like there's something about like singing on stage, but then like when you're just up on stage doing poetry, man, like it's different from like public speaking. Like you're literally up there making a point,
spewing your soul.
Yeah.
Like I guess that's sometimes like when someone is talking to their girlfriend or something, or their intimate mate, they don't want to do any public display of emotions and stuff because they're a little embarrassed of it. And I guess people ourselves, we're embarrassed to spew our hearts and souls out in front of a stage, in front of in front of like strangers, like how are they judge us? They might think I'm a cornball. They might think I'm a goofy, it's just
were you trying to be like Dante Bosco, with the poetry and all that, just speaking smooth and
no, not too familiar.
No, Dante Bosco, yeah, because he was doing I guess written poetry or slam poetry like that too.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got like this really suave kind of style when he talks, very smooth and I don't know, I can't do that. I don't have that kind of voice. When I see people like do slam poetry like that, like I can't stand like the two people on the stage and then finishing each other's lines and stuff like that. Is mad corny. Yeah, that's mad corny to me. I hate that. I've seen
Everyone's
that
got
one.
their own skill, style, and strengths. You know, like I don't have the strongest voice, and like some people's got smooth voices, but their writing or poetry sucks, and some people are just really complex with their poetry wordplay, but they're just really dull. You know, and everyone's got their own pitch and style. So, but it just wasn't for me. I just felt out of place because like I'm an Asian dude rocking in front of like a crowd of like hipster white kids and like Erica Badu black people. You know, like. Why? Like I'm like the token Asian guy there, you know. No one gives a fuck about your upbringing. I felt that's how I felt when doing that stuff there, which I like. You know, like if what the idea of what was originally inclusive, I felt like I was excluded because even then I felt people still didn't understand me, and when I did do something, they said that it wasn't right. You know, like I wrote a piece one time about like the devil is a lie, and you know it's apparently like a lot of black and white people are Christians, you know, and, and a lot of people were offended by it. So, but you know, like I thought this was where we can like test our boundaries of ideas and stuff, but you know a lot of people just didn't like that.
Man, I did. Oh shit! I didn't think people would get offended by that. Holy shit! That's pretty funny.
No, I just thought it was weird. Like maybe this is a long time ago though. But like just the fact that like the idea when I wrote it was about the devil is alive. The devil is alive. You know, like it's a play on itself. It's alive. What's alive in people, all of us. And I guess people took it straightforward. But and then a lot of people in the city, they are pretty religious too. So
You're doing the devil's work, Kuelio.
Yeah.
Now that you bring that up, you said earlier you're a Joe Rogan fan. So are you big on the conspiracies? Like yeah.
Ah, man, dude. When I was a kid, dude, I thought the Loch Ness Monster was real. I wanted Bigfoot to be real so much. When I was in high school, I got clowned on my sophomore year, right? So check this out. It was like May. It was almost the end of the year. It's sophomore year. I'm outside hanging out and shit. And from the distance, I'm like, yo, there's some UFOs outside in broad daylight. You guys got to see this. It was like at least like 20 of them. And I go to school the next day. I'm telling people this. And people are laughing at me. And I'm like, yo, did y'all see that stuff? And like my foundation teachers, yeah, I saw them too. They were really like, yeah, they were green and small. Like I had one friend, he agreed with me. Like, I saw them too. I saw them too. I saw them again the next day. You know what they were? Fucking seagulls in the distance, reflected by the sun. I shit you not, man. I thought I saw aliens, bro.
I was never really big on aliens growing up, but now as an adult, I don't really reject that idea. But yeah, man, with Rogan and all, like the episodes with him and Bravo, man, when they start bringing up like aliens and the government and all that stuff, the 9/11 stuff, man, holy shit, I got like into this rabbit hole because of that. Like I was looking into like just Tower 7, is that what it was, and all that stuff.
A lot of it is like, well, conspiracy theories in general, like just a lot of it is really stupid, like obviously dumb, like 5G radio towers caused COVID and like, but then there's some that are very plausible, like JFK, the greatest conspiracy theory of all time. Some of it's very plausible. 9/11 is again very plausible. And what's that one? MK Ultra, dude.
Yeah.
That shit was real.
Did you like that Alex Jones episode?
I didn't watch that one, dude.
No, oh man, no, that one was pretty good.
I'm just really turned off by him. I don't know, Alex Jones. Yeah, I don't know. I can't do it, man.
That guy is just like I had to I guess re-listen to his stuff quite a bit to kind of just even get what he was talking about, like because it sounds so just super right wing, and he's always just pointing things, and there's never like breakdowns of like certain details. And I just think it's funny because that's when like Rogan's like, Alex, you got to go back. You're confusing people. You got to explain yourself and all this stuff. And it's just so, I don't know, man. I don't know. I actually like it now. Like listening to his stuff. I don't believe in everything, but the fact is,
I think that's a lot of people are saying that too. Like Alex, they understand who he is now, so they take it more as comedic than serious.
Yeah, people are just like trying to hear how, I guess, what more of the crazy stuff he's coming up to say. Like, yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly what he said on the last podcast, but it was just something like, what was it? That I forgot what the place was called, but it was like the place where all the rich old people got together, and then they burn like effigy to like the owl god and shit like that. They were talking about that shit. Shit was fucking wild. He was like, Clint Eastwood was there, and like all these high profile actors and stuff was there, and he got invited there and all that stuff. Yeah, I was like, man, that's pretty crazy, man. And I don't know.
I'm worried about it's people who actually believe that shit. Like
I don't know.
I feel like I believe that stuff. Like the Illuminati stuff, like, oh, did you know that this rapper did that? Like, dude, not every rapper is into that shit. Do you think these rappers that smart to be involved in some shit, dude? Come on, man.
There was like a lot of that stuff, like what was it? Like Jay-Z and Beyonce, they sold themselves to Illuminati or something like that. I remember something like that from high school.
Bill Clinton, them are lizard people and shit. Yeah. And Donald Trump is out to save us. Fuck me, man.
Dude, there's so much weird shit that people like just bring up and make up, man. That's why like but it's weird too, man, because sometimes like some of the conspiracy stuff, there's like a little bit of truth in it too, but then it's just exaggerated.
Like I think the Loch Ness monster and other sea monsters might be real because the ocean's that fucking big, The universe might have aliens because it's that big, and then there's the Fermi paradox. There might not be aliens because it's that big. There's reasonable stuff behind it, and then you got dumb shit like that.
What are your thoughts on the simulation theory stuff,
bro? Like, all right, check this out. Right, so earlier this summer, I dropped some shrooms and fucking like. Dude, I was fucking lit, right? So we ended up watching what is it? Fear and Loathing and shit. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I was tripping balls out of my mind because like the visuals and all that shit, right? So besides that, once the shrooms peaked, I went outside. I put my headphones on and I started listening to Kid Cudi, Man on the Moon. That was like my favorite album when I was growing up, right? So I'm jamming out to that and I'm walking around. And like, it was so crazy because like I felt like I could see and feel everything, like the wind and just the tree movements, the lights and cars and people. You ever seen Donnie Darko?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, when they had the little cube thing that comes out of their chest.
Oh yeah.
It was like that. Like I could see I could see people's aura and energy, and they're going around me because they don't want to be involved with me. And I was like, that's okay. And my friends who I was with, like our little bond thing was like conjoined. So like okay, this is a group, right? And I could see other people's groups. I felt like when I was on shrooms. But anywho, yeah, like I tried to go to sleep, and all I could think was like, "Yo, dude, I'm alive." Like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Like this ain't right. How can I feel all this? Like, what's My mind ran like at 1,000 million trillion miles, and I feel like I understood the world, and I felt like I'm a chess piece, and my duty is to move somewhere so another chess piece can move. And dude, I really felt like it was a simulation, man.
Holy shit!
I really felt that like I needed to do something to change and save the world at that point in time. And that might be they're here for something bigger, and I was losing my shit. So, do I believe in the simulation theory? Maybe, but
I've never had that kind of experience, so I don't know what to say to that. But the ideas of like excuse me, like the ideas of like just the simulation theory itself, just like virtual reality and all that stuff. We're seeing that stuff now, and like the whole Matrix idea. I used to always think like that movie was really ridiculous, but now that I'm older, I'm like, damn, what if that's the case, man? Like, what if we're not, woke in the Matrix or some shit like that? And then like there was one, I don't know if this is related to simulation theory, but there was one that I read that was like, you only see what's in front of you. Like you never, like, even let's say like behind closed doors, there's nothing unless you open that door, and that's when you see the data that's in there. But
yeah,
you're just in the room, like that kind of shit. That one kind of bugged me out a little bit. I was like, fuck, man. Like, what if you when you look back, the things behind you that you don't see is not really there.
But I think that's the scary thing, though, man. Like, you don't want to open the blinds to these things. It's the moment you know the meta of things, that's when you're like, fuck, life is dull and boring. Like, maybe it's okay to be ignorant and blind and dumb. Sometimes I wish I was, like I feel like sometimes I know too much or know of things too much, and it hurts me because I feel like everything's vanilla, like it's just plain now that I've seen it all. Shit, I don't know. Like sometimes ignorance is a bliss. Sometimes I was talking to a buddy once about. Well, I don't know why we got into this conversation about World War II and Hiroshima, and I told him, utilitarianism and the effects of the bomb and why we had to do it. He's like, what? No, that's crazy. That's a crazy way to think about it. And I'm like, no, it's really not. But maybe I don't know. Maybe just people don't have that much ideas of or options. Like once you see all options, you're like, shit. Maybe I hit the top of the ceiling.
Yeah, I think that's what. Excuse me. I think that's what makes people kind of afraid too. Like, imagine if you just knew everything, and then they're all like, all the things that you believe in or try to believe in, it's all like a complete lie. And then, like everyone's just trying to disprove like things like religion and all and all that stuff. And I don't know. I think it's a good and it's a good thing too to kind of just not know everything. But yeah, I mean, like that's what these theories are for, right? Just to kind of dwell onto them. But yeah, man, was there anything else you wanted to bring up before I wrap things up here, man?
Let's see here. Let's see. What the fuck am I? So I just found out that stupid thought of the week. I would walk to the bus stop here in the mornings and stuff, right? And I would always see these rabbits get chewed up, or like, I would see their spines and stuff, and like hairs everywhere. I'm like, what the hell is out here killing these rabbits? This is fucking crazy. I just found out 2 days ago, cats are out here killing rabbits, bro.
Holy shit.
That's just wild. Yeah, I saw someone's cat chasing a rabbit down, and that's when I realized, that's what's been killing these rabbits out here. Just a random thought of the week from me. Other than that,
any plugs?
Any plugs? Shout outs the boys, Fax News, Wange and T. Tune in every month now, just because I like to work with the guys more now. So Chilla, of course, Teo, Mang, Jamie, aka Young Jamie, Brucey F Baby. Like the page, subscribe, hit the bell, or else get knocked out like Nate Robinson. Oh, did you watch the fight?
Yeah, I watched it. I was. Oh man, okay, this is a good one. This is a good way to end the podcast. But yeah, the Jake Paul fight, I was not expecting that kind of knockout. But the fact that the memes came in so quickly, dude, I was like, yeah, he's done. Like everyone jumped on that opportunity. And then the Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. that I kind of saw that coming.
Yeah, this is two really old guys throwing down. That's all it is. Like it's two tree trunks just bashing each other. What did you expect? Nothing special is gonna happen. But Snoop Dogg made it fun, which I loved about the show.
Dude, I loved his one comment he did. He's like, "These look like my two drunk uncles fighting at the barbecue or something like that."
Grandma.
Dude, I was dying. I was like, man, usually like I don't get too entertained by Snoop's commentary because I feel like he's kind of over the top sometimes.
Yeah.
But that one, I laughed at that one. I was like, damn, that was good. Like he just like he just has that old school kind of feel to him. So like I thought that was good. But yeah, man, the moment I saw the main event go with like two rounds or 2 minute per round, I was just like, yeah, that I kind of figured it wasn't gonna be like a knockout or anything.
I mean, it was a fun event. If I would make a show or a fighting show or a boxing show, that's how my show would be like. It was fun. It was a fun show.
Yeah.
Did I have low expectations? Yeah. Was it a fun show? Hell yeah, it was.
It was overall. It was entertaining. It wasn't like boring, but I think people were just expecting like old Mike to come back, but not realizing like Mike is old. You know, he's not gonna come in swinging like that anymore. He was still cutting angles really good and moving and stuff like that, but he's not. I don't think he's in that mindset to tear off someone's head anymore.
It reminds me of that scene in Watchmen when they're killing the old Night Owl.
Yeah,
where he's like, "Can I turn back the clock one more time?" Yeah, and he just gets killed at the end. Like, fuck.
Did you see what Jake Paul was doing after though? Like he was trying to call out McGregor and his team.
Yeah. Hey man, to be fair, people are bashing him. You know, like, yeah, you know what? His record speaks for himself. He's 2-0, and McGregor is 1-0. To be fair, it makes sense.
I was hoping like they were gonna back when they did when Logan Paul fought KSI. Jake Paul called out Chris Brown. I was like, I thought they were going to do that next. I'm like, man, please let him fight Chris Brown or try to bring up the Soldier Boy Chris Brown shit again. Because I was willing to pay for that one.
Rappers or just, black athletes into boxing matches just because they're black. They're not all fighters, the idea is cool. Like, Fight for New York, the video game, like all these gangster rappers know how to do kung fu and shit. It's not like that. It's cool, but it's not like that.
Man, when Chris Brown and Soldier Boy was going at it, man, that was when I was so willing to pay for that
the
one.
Boxing fight,
yeah, dude, they were like training, and Soldier Boy's hitting the mitts, and Chris Brown's hitting the mitts too, and Soldier Boy goes to confidence. Such classic stuff, man.
That's great.
All right, man. So, before I officially wrap things up, man, thank you, Kuelio, for your time for doing this, man. I had a great time having you on the podcast. Hopefully we can do another collaboration like this. Thank you to everyone who tuned in and watched and commented. Thank you, guys. Make sure you guys like, share, and follow Spoiler Force Podcast and Fax News and Wayne E&T. Help show some support for all of us, and especially the Hmong content creators. If you guys want to collaborate, and if you're like other podcasters too, hit up me or hit up Kuelio, man. We're open to collaborate with you guys.
But yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, Rick. Appreciate it. Hey, love to the viewers and people. Thanks for having me. I appreciate everything that you're doing for the culture and just yourself, of course. Yeah, thank yourself. Shout out Snoop Dogg. But yeah, man, like you're doing great, dude. I appreciate you for having me.
All right, man. So that's pretty much it, you guys. This is episode 77 of Spoiler Force Podcast. Thank you guys and have a great day.
Love.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow, like, share, subscribe, and rate Spoiler Force Podcast. For comments, questions, or criticism, you can email me at rickyvang92@gmail.com or message me on Instagram at instagram.com/rickyvang92.